What's going on, guys? Sledgehammer70 back, and today I'm going to do a quick video on painting your calipers. Now, a lot of people have asked me to do a video showing how to paint your calipers, and I have that video coming, but today I want to talk about the different ways you can go about doing it. Now, my new car is been delivered to my dealership, and I'll have my new one on Monday of next week. Thank you. Yay. But once I have that car, I will be painting my calipers again and show you exactly how to do it on all four corners in one go. But the biggest thing is I wanted to highlight the different options you can have in actually having your calipers done. So there's three options that come to mind very quickly, two of which last for a long time, or when I say a long time, they last for a year or so before you need to either have it retouched up or redone. They range from kits to powder coating to actual spray paint. The first one, Dupli Color caliper paint. They make this in many different colors. I've seen yellow, I've seen blue, red, black, all sorts of different colors out there. This is a decent product. It doesn't hold up that well. Rock chips, all that kind of stuff will flake the paint. I've used this before on different devices or different calipers before I knew about some of the other options out there. Obviously, this is a heck of a lot cheaper than going to have your calipers powder coated. It being a cheap option, it doesn't last as long. Now, I've tried this with single and dual coats all the way up to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 coats on calipers to see how it functioned and how it lasted. It does look really good once you first apply it, but you'll find yourself applying it multiple times. And I've applied this two different ways. I've taken the calipers off, taped them up where I didn't want the caliper paint to get, and let it dry, multiple coats. And I've also done it to where I sprayed the contents of the can into a paint bucket and brushed the paint on with multiple coats. Both ways turned out pretty good. It's pretty simple. I think this can was like 10 bucks, 12 bucks, not very expensive. So that's one option. The other option out there, which I can't necessarily hold up and show you, is getting your calipers powder coated. Now, powder coating does require you to disassemble your brakes and bring it down to the place that does the powder coating. The downside of that is you don't have a vehicle that has brakes until they finish. Now, if you can schedule it and get it all done, usually it takes 1 to 2 days. Sometimes these guys are pretty quick, but they have to powder coat it, bake it, let it sit, make sure it was perfect, all that greatness. Sometimes they mess up or have issues or the baking doesn't work so great. That's a very rare occurrence, but powder coating is a good way to go. It is the most expensive route, but it does last the longest. But it still is susceptible to dings and scratches and chips, and once you chip powder coat, you can't necessarily touch it up without it standing out like a sore thumb. So keep that in mind. But the one kit that I have gravitated towards, and I found out about this pretty late in my car loving career. It's not a career. In my car loving progress, but even it looks like the system came straight out of the 80s with their boxing, and they have not found a need to upgrade much here. But this is the G2 kit. It is a pretty cool kit. It's not that expensive. I believe I paid 48 bucks for it. There's more than enough paint in here to cover all four corners of an SS, probably twice over. Like, most people will be like, oh, it's enough to do one side, or oh, it's enough to do two sides. But when I did this, I did 6 coats on each caliper, front and back, both sides, and probably still had enough paint to do the whole process over again on my car. So if you want to do this with a buddy, you guys could both put your car up on stands and both paint your cars at the same time, or the calipers at the same time, and get away with it. Now, this is a 2-part system, so this kit does come with a brake cleaner that you use to clean off your brakes and all that stuff to get all the nastiness off. It comes with a paint can, and then it comes with what they call the reactor. And basically what it is it's a hardener, and once you literally mix it, like, you have, what does it say? You let it react for 5 minutes, wait 15 minutes before applying coats. But basically, once you mix it, you have 4 hours. So If you mix this all up the night before, you're going to wake up pretty sad that you just jacked your kit up. But set your car up, get it all ready, get the brakes clean, get your car up on jacks, etc., etc. Mix in the reactor, get it all ready, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then start your application. I've done this to 2 cars now. I did it to my car right here, and here's a couple photos. As you can see, it turned out really nice. It's a thick coverage, came out smooth. The one thing I would recommend is in this kit, they do give you a paintbrush. The paintbrush sucks. Go to like a hobby store, go somewhere and buy a really nice paintbrush that the bristles will not come out. Now this is a hand application. You'll be painting, you put it on thick each coat. Usually the first coat is, you'll still see through, like these are the grayish black calipers on the SS, so you'll see a little bit through that one, but by the time you get to the 3rd, 4th, 5th coat, it's a nice thick red, nothing's bleeding through. It's great. Now, the one downside to all of these kits is you lose your Brembo and Camaro call out, depending on which brakes you have, will define like Camaro Performance, or if you have a 1LE, I think the 1LE says it, but I think those come red. I could be wrong, but whatever. So you can get decals for your calipers that are pretty inexpensive. On eBay, I picked up some decals here. I'll put the links down below on the decals that I bought from the vendor I bought. And so far, I've been driving the car with the painted calipers for about 3 months. Haven't had any chips, haven't had any issues on this specific car, and the decals still look great. So, and you saw them in the photos. Here's another photo with the decals on. But yeah, so those are the 3, I would say, primary ways that you can do your calipers and change the color of them. The powder coating is the most expensive version. The G2 kit is more expensive than the spray can that I showed you earlier, but I believe the G2 kit is the best option between them all if you're on a budget. And actually, I would just say in general, like I honestly feel the G2 kit is the best option across the board. Now, some of you guys might feel differently. Some of you may know of other ways to do it or other products out there. I'd love to hear about it. Post below in the comments. I've done a lot of research around this. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I've presented the best options out there. But I did want to present the options that I knew about and the ones that I've actually tested. I did powder coat a set of calipers on my S10 long ago, and they lasted about a year, and they got a couple chips in them and stuff. I tried touching them up, and they never looked right after that. So I basically had to go back down and get them stripped and re-powder coated if I wanted it looking good again, and that just gets expensive. Now, you'll still get chipping and potential problems with both the G2 kit and the generic caliper spray paint that you get over the counter, but those are easy to touch up, and in most cases now where I've had to touch up, it blends right in and it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. So yeah, so in regards to that, it's usually cheaper in the long run to go that route. But there you go. Different ways to paint your calipers. I thank you guys for watching the videos. As always, leave comments below. Let me know what you guys think. If you have your own process, again, let me know below. Appreciate the likes, the subscribes. Been a lot of new people checking out the channel. Welcome each of you for, subscribing and checking it out. But until next time, guys, I will see you on the road.